How's it going, guys? Hope you guys are having a great Saturday so far, but I'm here to bring you guys my review on Tokyo Ghoul chapter 127, and I know right now everyone is talking about that last page, that last panel, that mysterious king figure that got revealed at the very end of this chapter. So many people are speculating, is it Kaneki? Is it someone new? Is it Yoshimura? Is it Arima? There's so many names being tossed around for this character. Like, this whole week of speculating is going to be a lot of fun for a lot of people until we get the reveal next week. But I have to be honest with you guys, before I dive into this review, I personally felt that this chapter felt like empty and just not a lot happened. I know that's very weird because with previous chapters we've been getting, like the last 5 to 10 chapters of Tokyo Ghoul, they've been on fire, so much has been happening. But with this one, there wasn't really a lot of buzz, at least within the fandom, going on for this chapter, I just felt. That's just me. I'm not sure if you guys saw this or felt this as well, but let me know your honest thoughts, how you felt about this chapter down in the comments below, because even though I'm saying it felt empty, there is some interesting things to actually talk about for this chapter. One being that mysterious king figure. That is a major talking point that we do have to discuss. But also the whole Ogai situation and the CCG witch hunt that is currently being conducted, where they're exterminating all of the ghouls within all the wards of Tokyo. But then also the introduction of this new mysterious figure, Ko, when Naki came in and ended up saving him. So let's backtrack a little bit and actually talk about the whole Ogai and witch hunt that the CCG are currently conducting, because when we open up with this chapter, we see the Ogai just entering these establishments and just killing ghouls right on sight. And we can even see that with Mitsuki, because it seems like Mitsuki is just killing someone within a mall, which is absolutely insane. But there's some key dialogue that I do want to point out with the Ogai, which actually is on page 5, and it reads as this: "Everything's so relaxed now that the gloomy squad leader isn't around, right? Our reconnaissance precision has gone down a bit, though." So right here, I immediately thought of Mitsuki, because with last chapter's reveal, Mitsuki was actually shown to be the new trainee, or training the Ogai in combat. But with this, it makes it sound like there's an Ogai person missing from their group who is supposed to be leading the squad around, and because that person's not there, their ability to smell and fish out people has gone down a bit. So that's some interesting dialogue right there, where we don't really know who they are talking about. It could be Mitsuki, could be a whole new character that we have not met yet, or it could be how people are speculating that this new character, Ko, that got introduced, is actually a spy and is actually infiltrating GOAT and is actually a member of the Ogai. So there's a lot to be going on right there. But just getting to see the CCG conducting this witch hunt throughout this entire chapter, and getting to see Furuta on top of this like ski ramp, you know, how like people ride up on skis, and just basically preaching to a crowd that the ghoul annihilation percentage within the 23rd ward will very soon hit 90%. And he has this giant sign in back of him saying ghoul annihilation rate 88%. Right now, Furuta is reaching full-on Hitler status right now. He basically has the whole public, like, supporting his, like, witch hunt and genocide of ghouls, and actually getting to see, like, Urei and Juzo still following his orders. It kind of makes me question, like, what the hell they are doing, but I have to talk about Ui. Oh my god, Ui in this chapter looks so, like, deformed, just so, like, sleep deprived. I don't know what's going on with Ui. I'm not sure if the whole thing with like Hairu possibly being revived is just weighing him down so much, but Ui is basically looking like Matsuri Washu did after the Rue Island arc, like just so disheveled, so distraught. You look like Ui right now needs to sleep for a few days, because my god, that panel, like, he just looks so gross right now, honestly. And just seeing how Furuta is just in full control, you can tell that the whole public is just totally okay with this mass genocide of ghouls, which kind of makes you gotta think, it's like, what's wrong with the public within Tokyo, where things have gotten so bad with ghouls, especially, you know, with Eto outing how, like, ghouls are actually good and having ghoul sympathizers rise up, but yet there's still so many people supporting Furuta and this cause to actually exterminate all the ghouls. So we have that basically going on with the CCG, but this actually leads into the new character they got introduced this chapter named Ko, and getting to see Naki actually just go in and annihilate 3 CCG investigators was really cool to see. Just getting to see Naki fight in general is just nice, because he doesn't show up that often, but when he does, there's always a huge smile on my face. And even the dialogue that he always has, whether if he interacting with Tsukiyama or any other character, I find just hilarious, and it just makes me love Naki even more. But I love how he just goes goes in on these CCG investigators, takes them out no problem on his own, and then ends up taking this kid under his wing, taking him back to the underground. And actually, I love this part because we are getting the underground that has been hinted and teased ever since the early parts of Tokyo Ghoul. Because the 24th Ward, the underground levels have just been a mystery ever since they've been mentioned by the CCG and also on the Ghoul side. Because this is another thing you do have to note. The CCG has conducted the whack-a-mole operations within the 24th Ward underground, but yet they still don't know that much about it. A lot of it is a mystery to the CCG, and they don't really know the whole map of the entire area. So the fact that GOAT has moved their base of operations to the 24th Ward underground is actually very smart, but this ends up giving us a lot of possibilities of seeing possibly like new types of ghouls that have never been seen up on the surface, but also maybe the possibility of a one-eyed actually popping up in the story. Another one-eye besides Kaneki, and I think that would be very interesting. I'm not basing that on everything, it's just basically a theory that I'm coming up with right now because there have been a lot of talk, and especially in past chapters, of Kaneki doing research on the past one-eyed ghoul that popped up in history a long time ago. So the fact that that has been brought up time and time again, and we're finally going into the underground, maybe that's a possibility. I don't really know for sure, but I just love actually going into the underground, getting to see all of these ghouls that don't go on the surface and just remain underground. I find very, very cool. And the fact that we get to see Shu just doing what he does best and just following his king, doing like intelligence work, having people on computers. It's just really nice to see. But also the interaction of Naki and Tsukiyama, because even when Naki messes up his name, Shu at this point doesn't even care. He just brushes it off. It's like, hey, Naki, how's it going? So you can tell that they've kind of developed this rapport or this kind of like relationship to where they work well together, but Shu right now is just knows that Naki is not very well educated, or at least that we thought of, because even in this chapter, Shu brings up that Naki's vocabulary has improved, and the fruits of the king's education's efforts, he is very pleased right now. And I just love the fact that if we did have a time skip take place within this chapter that a lot of people are speculating on, if Naki is actually getting smarter and is actually maybe even being tutored by Kaneki, I think that's awesome. And just seeing how, look at like Naki's face on page 16. He looks so happy and just saying, hey, it's proof the world's gone mad. So even he has to joke that the fact that he is actually getting a little bit smarter just goes to show how messed up the world must be. So I love the fact and just this overall like dynamic between Naki and Tsukiyama. It's just very fun to watch. But now it's time to dive in the meat of this chapter and what everyone right now is speculating on, the final page, the final panel with this reveal of this mysterious figure being known as the king, you know, the nameless king. And a lot of people are, you know, speculating, is this Kaneki? Is this someone else? Is this a clone of Arima? Is this Yoshimura back from the grave? Like, there's so many possibilities right now. And when I first read through this, I personally thought that this was someone else, just on the fact that so many people were saying, you know, a new king, and it seemed like a lot of the underground ghouls were calling him king. And the fact that, you know, shrouded in black, but has this black ooze just oozing off of the figure. And I immediately thought, if this character is someone new that we haven't seen before, what if that this is like a one-eyed character deep within the underground that is resurfacing, that Kaneki and Team Goat have found, and this character is just so riddled with RC cells, like a really high level, that they just secrete RC liquid that just oozes off of their character. I'm not basing this on anything. It's just a theory and just a thought that popped in my head from reading this chapter. But honestly, like just with that description, I think that would be really, really cool. But, you know, talking with you guys and actually going back and rereading this and even looking at this last page, this last panel, you can see that this character has white hair. And so most likely this will end up being Kaneki. But then you got to start asking yourself, what the hell happened to Kaneki? If it is revealed that this is Kaneki, odds are we've had a time skip of some type of sort, because the last time we saw Kaneki, he was very happy. He was with Toka, took the ring in order to remember her by, and then we had that last panel with the centipede. And if you go back to when the centipede was last introduced, and I think that this parallels quite well if this is in fact Kaneki, because we saw the centipede right before we had black-haired Kaneki, and we did not see Kaneki after the centipede panel until he was being tortured by Jason and, you know, thus becoming white-haired Kaneki. And for right now in Tokyo Ghoul Re, we had a very happy, a very chipper Kaneki, you know, talking with Toka, and then we had the centipede panel. And if this is in fact Kaneki, he's in a depressed state right now, and we have no idea what the hell he has gone through to even look like this right now. Because if this is in fact Kaneki, you got to start asking yourselves the questions like, what the hell happened? Was there a time skip? And why is he dressed this way? Why is he like have this like black ooze coming off of him? Is it blood? Is it RC cells? Like, we have no idea right now. All we can do is speculate, and this is a lot of fun. And I know a lot of people right now are even talking about the character Ko, and some people are speculating like, well, if there has been a time skip, what if this is Kaneki's son? And personally, I don't think that theory would actually pan out, because it seems like Ko has no idea about, you know, Team Goat, this king, leader of the ghouls, and if he was in fact Kaneki's son, I feel like he would have been raised within the GOAT organization and would know who his father and mother were. But honestly, if there's a time skip, there's so many possibilities. We have no idea what's going to be happening, and I know everyone is eager and just waiting for the next chapter so that way we can get the answers for what the hell is going on with this mysterious king figure that has appeared. Anyway, guys, that's it for this review. Let me know your thoughts on this chapter, and if there's anything that's of interest that I mentioned within this review, bring it down in the comments. We can talk about it further down there. And if you guys are finding my channel for the first time, I do Tokyo Ghoul live reactions and reviews to every chapter that comes out. So if you guys want to join in and just talk about Tokyo Ghoul as it comes out week to week, feel free to do so. I would love to talk with you guys. I love the Tokyo Ghoul fans, and just getting to talk and speculate is one of my favorite things about making these videos. So that's the end of this review, guys. Until next week, when we get Tokyo Ghoul chapter 128, I will talk with you guys then. All right, guys, see you later.